All right, let's go. Hi, everybody. Hi. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing amazing. Welcome in. It's so good to see you all, and it's so nice and early for me to be streaming. How weird. But that's what you get for happy time zones. How is everybody? For those who don't know who I am, my name is Travis. Some people call me Super Trav. Some people call me Trav. Some people just call me I got called Soup's Tea once in a stream, and I thought that was really strange. And I was like, I don't think I can come back here. Because it's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. Oh, we got some ads. We got some ads. Always in the way. Always with the gosh darn ads. Always with these gosh darn ads. Soup's Tea, SOOPSTEE. As if I wear t-shirts or something. On my channel? Fucking think so. Anyway. Hi. Are y'all off the ads yet? Yeah, I got ads. I hate sport. Sport bad. Do not like they sport. But that being said, hi, I'm Travis. Welcome to TravTalks. I like to name shows after myself, because I'm so full of myself, but only when I'm not looking in a mirror. I think everybody should, you know, participate in some inward looks at themselves and wonder why we got where we are. And, I think one of the fun things about doing TravTalks is I get to interview so many really, really cool creators, people that inspire me, people that show me that, you know, no matter what you're doing, people will like people will show up and have a good time with it. And I love the fact that I get to, I get to keep connections with people from, you know, having a big part of what used to be part of me with Super Trav, or with Tank Bros rather, to still be here and still support each other and you know, randomly throw biddies at each other and all that stuff, you know. So I'm always very happy with things. So I hope everybody is ready. I have the one only Shleytaylor _ here with me. She's currently muted and but has the lovely smile that we've all come to know. I have my questions all right here, ready to go. Ready? Check this shit out. Oh my god. But we're gonna bring her in. I hope everybody is ready. Question one. How dare you? You know what? You'll just have to see for yourself if she actually smiles or not. But Shley, are you there?
I think so. I think I'm here.
Oh my god.
Am I here? Hello.
You are? Hello. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
Welcome.
I see we've got great questions in chat already.
There will be a big old Q&A at the end, and I'm talking like they can be questions related to what we've been talking about. They can be questions unrelated to what we've been talking about. Luckily, my mods, if there are any questions that are like, oh, actually, I did want to ask that, but we're kind of like half paying attention, feel free to save them or, you know, do whatever you'd like. I'll go ahead and put these in chat just in case you forget or you know, if you feel bored, maybe you're just like, I want to read like a fucking paragraph.
We love reading.
We love reading, as was evidenced last night. How are you doing today, Shley?
I'm okay. I'm good. Work was a lot today. It was International Women's Day, so
Yes.
I went to cover an event for work. I'm a journalist. I went to cover an event, and it was 2 hours long, and it was longer than anticipated, but it was a very good event. It was just a lot.
What was the event, if you don't mind sharing?
The mayor of our community invited about 25 women, like but like between high school age up until like paramedics, police officers, like everyone like in positions that are mostly predominantly men's spaces. And it was kind of like a careers talk with some high school girls and women in interesting careers.
Is the mayor also a woman?
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
we're a wonderful little community where our mayor, member of parliament, and member of provincial parliament are all women. So
wow.
it's a fun little
That's
space
amazing.
that we're in.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you know, actually, and I will kind of just jump all over the place with these questions. But one of the things I was going to ask about, because you are a journalist, and we've talked a little bit about how you've done sports journalism before, and
I have. Yes.
I imagine is a totally male-dominated field.
Absolutely it is. My sports journalism class was 25 people, and there were 5 women in the class. So there were 20 men, 5 women.
Right.
And it was a lot of like proving that we were like able. Oh geez, what is happening?
It's a raid. Hi, Aaron.
It was a lot of like proving that we were also allowed to be there, and
Right, of course.
exactly. Most of the men in the program were like super supportive of all of the women that were also partaking, but there's like men on social media. If you're tweeting about hockey, if you're tweeting about baseball, there's going to be men that are like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. And I went to school for it. I do know what I'm talking about.
I'm actually very aware, yeah.
Hi, welcome in, Raiders.
Hi. Welcome in, Raiders. This is TravTalks. TT exclamation point TT about will tell you what the show is about. So actually, it's funny that we come from we do the same but opposite. Let me explain that. I work in a female-dominated field, and obviously I don't have the same prejudices or anything like that, but there's definitely like times when people go, a male therapist? I don't think so, you know?
Do you have like clients that are like sort of hesitant about coming to see you?
I do have every so often some clients that are definitely not into the idea of having a male therapist, but they definitely, eventually they come around slowly to that idea once, a little bit of more rapport building and things like that. What do you feel like is it just literally like this is a man's world and you're not allowed here, that kind of thing? Is that the biggest hurdle, or are there others?
Mostly it's like guys that grew up in like tots baseball, and they think that they know every single thing there is to know about baseball because they played it when they were 4. And they're also in the stands watching the game. They're not on the field either.
Right.
And they're just like, you didn't play baseball growing up, so clearly you know nothing about the game. When it's swing bat, hit ball, score runs. That's the game. It's not that hard to understand. But there's men that think little woman brain can't understand get ball in net. Like there's men that still think like that, and it's a bit frustrating.
Would you say like currently generationally like it's less that? Would you say that
Absolutely
still exists?
Yeah, I previously in a different life I had like 10,000 followers on Twitter, and it was like fully sports fans, and
right.
With like the weird reply guys that were like, this is the stupidest tweet I've ever read, absolutely like 50 and above. Right. Like our age is more like accepting, I find. Like, as I said, all of the guys that were in my program were super supportive to like give us opportunities to also take part in things.
Right.
It's more so like the older generation, I'd say.
The older generation. So you said like 50 and up.
Yeah.
And again, it's I feel like it's definitely always people who have like never played, or even if they have played, it's not nearly on like a professional level or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
How could you possibly know what you were talking about? You're right. How would I know?
It's
So
not
you,
like they explain
yeah,
during the game what's happening.
literally every game. You know, like literally every game that they watch, that you watch, any sports game, they like it's not like they go into detail of every single rule every single time,
Yeah.
but they'll like tell you what's going on. It's kind of their job. But anyway, yeah, like I feel like there's definitely a lot of pushback. But I do like the shift slowly that I've been seeing. I see it a lot in sports that aren't based exclusively on masculinity.
Absolutely, yeah. As a Canadian, my favorite sport is hockey,
That's what's up.
which is absolutely like we're gonna smash each other to bits on the ice. So there's like rinkside jobs that are sometimes filled by women, not always, but
Right.
like there's been a push for more women in like higher level jobs in sports, like actually in the front office type of jobs, not just like on the sidelines. So
Right.
I think the movement is happening.
I watched, I can't remember the teams that were playing, but it was I threw it on in the background, and it was a period break, and they had a woman doing like the period break like announcements and highlights and stuff like that. And I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. Like when I started watching.
Ooh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, we
What
lost
has
her.
just happened?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What
it's a nightmare.
happened?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Your snap camera.
My computer just like half restarted. It's fine. It's cool. Don't worry. It's cool.
You like just posted that clip.
I know. I turned off auto restarts. I turned them off. I don't know what's happening. But I actually didn't start watching sports until like halfway through university.
Really?
So my post grad is sports journalism. So when I started watching sports, I saw like Hazel May and other women like traveling with the teams and covering the teams from wherever they were. And like seeing a woman doing that job made me think that I could do it. So that was really what pushed me to apply to the program and proceed with that job.
So master's degree then?
It is a postgraduate certificate. So I have my undergrad in communications and then 2 postgrads, and one of those postgrads is sports journalism.
What's the other one?
Communication media practices.
Okay, so just about similar.
It's in there,
but not quite there. Yeah. I understand. That's awesome. So you were like, you saw this in university, in college, and was like, that's it?
Yeah, pretty much. But there's not many jobs for women in sports still.
Right.
So I am working in like local news. I do try and cover as many local sports as possible, but as I said before, like I cover events like the International Women's Day events. Like it's not nearly fully sports.
Right. And do you feel like there's do you feel like there's a specific reason for it? Is it more just like all the positions at this point are kind of filled? Like
maybe.
Okay.
But you see like between the periods of a hockey game, like if there's a panel, there's maybe one woman on the panel of 5.
Right.
Like it's not 50-50. There's one spot for a woman and there's 4 spots for men.
She's like hosting.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not a commentator, she's a host.
Exactly.
Right.
So there's women in sports, but there's still room for it to grow.
Yeah, and like I've seen that. I noticed that watching football this season, like NFL this season, that they definitely, it was great that they highlighted like women referees and women coaches and things like that. I'm like, fucking awesome. But then they definitely were still like, no women in the booth until halftime, right?
Yeah.
Or only sideline reporters, you know. So it was definitely a still ways to go, still hurdles to be.
Yeah. The Toronto Raptors had a now deleted tweet that had a video of the players for Women's History Month. And every single one of them were like, women run the world because they give birth. women run the world because my mom's a woman. And between like every single step of making that video, not a single person saw anything wrong with every single player saying women are only important because they give birth. And that's just like, that was this year. That was this month.
Oh, boy.
So that's what's going on in sports right now.
It would be the Raptors, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be the Raptors. Man, it seems like I feel like there's some generational divide there, because there's definitely a skip of like some people are older, like on the team, or they come from a slightly older generation. But Ali, you think like there's like 23-year-olds on the team. You'd think they'd figure
Exactly.
it out, right?
And the entire comms team that it went through between editing, filming, like
right?
Yeah. It's not just one person. It can't be.
Or there's like at least somebody out there who's like there maybe have been somebody out there who was like, hey, this is not good, and like the director or whatever was like, I don't care, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, shit, man.
They tried to do something. At least there's that. The thought was there maybe a little bit.
So like the ultimate goal for you is like beyond content creation, because I don't know if this I don't know if like partner's the ultimate goal, or Twitch ambassador, which is like that step above, or whatever it is, you know. What do you think is like your ultimate goal as far as like jobs go?
Oh geez, I would love to be a full-time content creator, but
Yeah.
I know that's just fully unattainable right now. I don't have the spare time available to dedicate to making this content creation my full-time job.
It's extremely hard.
Yeah. I do really enjoy the job I have right now. Like, I get to go out and see the community. I get to interview people like the mayor and our MPP and our MP. Like, every newsmaker in the community I know and I speak to. So I think it's a really cool job, but I think I'm in the town that I grew up in. Like, I want to expand at some point.
No
like,
doubt.
even if it's just Toronto or something, like getting to a bigger news station.
I mean, I think content creation is actually a great way to expand. Like, you have
Exactly.
like, if you've got people watching you from all over, they might, you know, it's that whole 6 degrees thing, right? One person knows another person who knows another person, and it's like, hey, like, Shley would be like really good at commentating on this, that, and the other thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Let me DM you know, that kind of thing.
And the other way around too, like working in radio is what got me into content creation, because I always have like loved YouTube, loved Twitch, but I was just terrified to get into it. But then I started working in radio and realized I can talk to people. I can sit behind a microphone and talk, and it's fine. I'm not gonna die. So, but it goes both ways.
Yeah. So working in radio, like, I when we did TravTalks with Salt King, with Salty, it's the same thing. A lot of radio, like that's what like got him into it as well. What did you do with radio?
When I came out of my sports journalism, I got hired by the paper, like the newspaper in my hometown. And then during the pandemic, they sold the office and it was going to be work from home forever. So I was like, I enjoyed working from home, but I also enjoyed like the office and being able to talk to people. So I left the paper and went to radio, and I was terrified. I didn't know like anything that was going to happen at the radio. Working in print is so much different than working on air.
No doubt. A lot harder to edit.
Exactly. So it's a lot of the same thing. Like, I'm talking to the same people, I'm writing the same stories, but it's also like having to tell 3 stories in a 2-minute newscast. So it's changed a lot of how I tell stories and how I see stories, which might interfere with my streams because I can tell 3 stories in 2 minutes, and my streams are 2 hours, so I need a lot of stories to fill a stream.
You're like, running out of things to say.
I've told you everything already.
I've left out no detail. Yeah, I mean, I imagine these different forms of media, being in journalism itself, like, is like almost consistently changing. You know, like going like straight up, like I'll be honest, like I get a good chunk of like my news from like Philip DeFranco.
Exactly, yeah. I watch Philip DeFranco at the gym every morning.
He's awesome. Well, I love it. It's you know, he's got a very good way of telling the news without me being so far gone about being how everything is awful. But not everything is awful too, because there's also good things that can be covered. So with that changing world of journalism, like, where do you kind of see it going from where it is now?
So when I started, I live in Canada, but when I started, it was 2019. You might remember who was president in 2019 and his views of journalists. So becoming a journalist during that time period and immediately going into a pandemic, like I think I've been through the wash. I've been through the ringer as a journalist, and I've been doing this since 2019. Like, I have not been in the business very long.
Sure.
So I think it can only go up. But also there's AI things that are coming, and there's AI is threatening to write stories and be on-air hosts because they can just steal people's voices and make it sound like a real human. So
oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know where
weird.
It is. It's terrifying. Both for the integrity of the stories and my job.
Yeah, well, I mean, golly, like AI fear aside, like, you have like I don't know if you've seen them on TikTok where they have like the presidents in a Discord call. Those kill me. They're so funny, but they're also like, it's terrifying how real it sounds.
It is.
There's like little hiccups that you're like, okay, that's definitely like a little thing. But like on Spotify, it has like an AI DJ now, and he's like, hey, I heard you were listening to Thrice, and I'm like, how did you know that? That's weird.
I think a big thing, like, we have to verify our sources, and I think a big thing will become making sure that this audio clip that I've been sent wasn't made by AI, making sure this photo is real. Like, there's a lot of background research that you might not have had to do 5-10 years ago that you have to do now.
So verification, like, is a big thing now.
Oh yeah.
So now that you've, like, you said you went through the ringer, right? Like, so many changes so fast, right? I don't think I know anybody that gets a newspaper anymore.
No.
Right?
Exactly.
But it's all online, and you can get it all online.
Mm-hmm. So either subscriptions or online advertising is how my salary is paid. So it's a lot of like, we have 2 people in the newsroom and 8 people in the sales team. So we have to like keep up with keeping clients on air, keeping clients on our website so that we can be paid to make the content that goes on air. So there's no newspaper subscriptions anymore.
do you feel like there is like a pressure to make everything like shorter and smaller?
Honestly, I feel like I can put as much as I want in the story because there's going to be people that only read the headline. We have to post our stories on Twitter, on Facebook, like, keep everyone involved. And so many of the comments are just questions like, hey, what about this? And I want to respond and say, did you open the story? Did you just take a peek at it? Like, I know you just...
first paragraph.
I know you just read the headline. It's so obvious. So I think like people's like attention span isn't really going to change it because there's always going to be people that read the whole thing and people that just read the headline. So
yeah, and I was thinking about the whole like online journalism, going in and jumping in, but like you have to write it in a way that's first of all like grabbing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to write some like headline that grabs their attention, while also like not giving away too much so people do click, because then you get paid that way. Like,
yeah, I try to avoid clickbait as much as possible.
of course,
but we also have to write hooks for each of the 3 stories that are in our newscast.
right?
Like, if someone kind of drifts off their attention in the first story, you have to hook them back in for the second story and then hook them back in for the third story. So it's 3 clickbait lines in one newscast, basically.
Right, kind of, yeah. I mean, I remember, like, I don't know, I remember clickbait stuff used to be just listicles, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know, as a journalist, how you feel about listicles specifically. But I do.
I will refrain from answering.
I'm curious. Now you got me really curious. I just remember listicle clickbait being basically just like, you know, like 10 things of you ways you didn't know how to fry a pancake. Number 7 will fuck your dad, and you're like, oh my god, like now I need to know. You know?
And then it's 10 different pages, and you have to like load through the ads of each different page.
And there's like
they're making bank
in between each thing, and I'm like, wow, that's really smart for advertising.
But you have to get to the 7th one to figure out what the 7th one is.
What's gonna fuck my dad anyway? But well, now I need to know what's your thought on listicles other than making bank?
I don't mind them, as people are going to click on things that they want to click on. If it's not like entirely false information, go for it. But if you're just gonna blatantly spread lies and false information, don't do it.
Yeah, and I imagine, at least for like, I imagine that's like almost the BuzzFeed effect.
I love me a BuzzFeed article. So
do you feel like BuzzFeed, like, and this is a weird question to ask that I just thought of, but like, do you feel like BuzzFeed changed the way that like journalism is now, based on how we gotta get clicks, we gotta get people paying attention?
Yeah, the owner of our company is very much like, we need this many clicks on social media and we need this many followers. So I really do think like things like BuzzFeed and those types of companies, we have to compete with those. We're a 2-person newsroom and we have to compete with like a multi-million-dollar company. So
which are pumping out like hundreds of articles a day almost.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like there's got to be something like almost a formula, but you want to like be different enough.
There's only 2 local news sources for my area. So if people are actually interested in like our local politics, our local events, like you need to either come to us or the paper. There's nowhere else you can go. So I feel like that kind of draws in some people that we're not going to lose to BuzzFeed, because we're covering mostly local things.
Oh, that, you know what, that's a solid point too, because like we don't, you know, obviously I have to say the name, like this is my cross streets. No, but it's like small town journalism is probably different than like, you know, capital city.
Yeah. But there's also no funding for small town journalism, so you lose some stuff when you only have 2 people working in it. But
right, so 2 people newsroom, does that mean like everything is done by you too, like talking like filming, editing, everything, all that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, my coworker comes in for 4 a.m. and then he works until 11, and I work 10 to 6. So we have an hour crossover where we can like talk about what's going on, what we need to cover, and then from like start of the morning to end of the shift, it's just the 2 of us.
That's insane.
Yeah. So everything you hear on air is coming from me or my coworker.
Really?
Other than like the music and the ads, but
Right.
Mhm.
Right, of course. Okay. So that's wild. So do you feel like that kind of prepared you for almost with content creation where you got to do everything yourself?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think like going into the studio and having to look at the board, which is like a $10,000 piece of equipment that has a million buttons on it, and you have to figure out like which button, which slider, which things, like you have to make sure that you're not on air when you're doing something like with editing.
Right.
So it's a 2-person show there and a 1-person show here, so I'm fully prepared to like fix tech issues and stuff. Like even our IT department is 3 hours away in a different town, so if I need to fix something, they're gonna call me on the phone and they're gonna walk me through how to fix it.
They're like, well, we can get there, just tomorrow. Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, that's I think about like the talking with each creator has like opened up like open my kind of like vision a little bit, because I admittedly like first starting this with Tank Bros and then going into Super Trav, like definitely like some blinders, right? Like this is how it has to be done, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But, like each person has their own process, how you make clips and how you make this and how you or some people are like, nah, fuck this, I don't even care. And I'm like, wow.
Was it a big change going from 2 streamers on the channel to 1? Like was that like a big period of adjustment? There was
admittedly there was a good chunk of time when I was first doing it all by myself that I got so used to having somebody there to immediately respond to me, versus like I make a joke and then there's like a few seconds delay before I get that laughing dude face,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so different. And like then also doing the things that that Cam took care of, doing those myself, those kind of things.
Nick, I'm a journalist, it's my job.
When we do more Q&A, we can go back and forth a little bit more. This is our show. So I was gonna say, for you, it's always been the gap, right? Was there a name before Shleytaylor, or was that it? You were like, that's it. I love it.
I used to be Ash_Taylor_6, and that was 2 underscores. And I realized I hate people calling me Ash. It just makes me want to throw up. So I had to rebrand because I couldn't make that my username and have everyone calling me Ash.
Right.
But now
that Twitter thing going around right now where everyone says their nicknames. You're like, negatives. No, don't.
And everyone calls me Shley or Shley or Shay or just Taylor, and no one knows what my name is. It could be better.
I remember you first coming in, and because like it was on a Tank Bros stream, and I was like, you were like, it has to be it like, think of the ant, the at symbol as the A. And I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking clever.
You have to get creative when your name is Ashley Taylor. Everyone's named Ashley Taylor.
I have a sister named Ashley.
There you go. It's too popular.
But I mean, you do legit not like people calling you Shley? Like,
Shley is fine. Ash is awful.
Ash is awful. Okay. So you got to combine them, or nothing at all.
I wanted it to be my brand. Like in university, I was like, people are gonna call me Ash. It's gonna be my quirky little thing. And then people started calling me Ash, and I was like, take it back. I take it back.
Like, don't. Wow, very, very lucky that I didn't have that same thing. But yeah, the creative process of that whole thing is hard in and of itself. How do you brand? And I imagine communications, marketing, and sports journalism all are like really prepare you for branding.
Yeah. I worked for a startup for like 6 months of last year. From inception to off the ground running. So we started without a name.
No name.
And the company that was like overseeing it was called Umpires Media. And
I heard
that
before.
yeah, I did a stream like editing one of the videos for it.
Okay.
But the person that like owned the company was like, it needs to be Umpires Media, and I fought back so hard because it was about baseball, but it wasn't content for umpires. It was
Right.
content for fans. So I went with the idea, what's your call sports? Because it was like letting the fans be the umpire. The fans make the call.
Yeah.
So it's branded WYC Sports across everything. I no longer work for them. You don't need to go check them out. It's fine.
We're not promoting, not for free.
But like we spent months just coming up with an idea of a name before we started even making content. Like branding
Right.
is so important, and
Absolutely.
people my brand is illegible. People don't know what my name is.
Yeah, I mean, like, branding becomes such a big thing, not only in content creation, but in the journalism world. It has to be like, this is who I am. They even have, like, on, like, sportscasters have, like, their Twitter handle below their name on, like, the little name plaque. And I'm like, wow, this really is, like, everybody is a brand at this point.
Exactly. And then you have to put, my tweets do not count for my employer in your bio.
Right. So finding kind of that, I mean, for Shleytaylor here, like, was that just kind of a spur of the moment thing? You like typed it out and you were like, oh, love that, you know, or where did that come from exactly?
I definitely just had the @ sign written out, and I was like, what is my username gonna be? And then I just saw like the A in it, so I just put the rest of my name, and obviously Shleytaylor without the underscore is taken, so I had to put the underscore, but now it's the brand. The underscore is the brand. I can't get rid of it.
Without an underscore is also taken by a German channel that literally has not streamed in years, but it's fine.
The username, just Shley. The username Shley is taken, and they have never streamed.
And it's true, like the other the German Super Trav, I guess, hasn't streamed in years.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I even tried like doing like a whisper and being like, "Can I have your name, please?" Like,
please. I think I voted for Travioli when you were doing when you were doing your poll to see what your name was gonna be. That was the one I voted for.
Yeah, that was kind of a joke name, but also I was like, I don't hate it, but I still haven't even seen that episode of SpongeBob, so I kind of felt like I had to be like, that feels fake.
Well, you could just go watch it. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah, I could. People call me Travioli now, and I'm good with it.
Perfect. It's all I will ever call you now.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I'm good with it.
But as you said, with like my branding for journalism, my name is very popular.
Sure.
There is another person with the same name as me that has vandalized our shared name on the public library. Just large font, it says Shleytaylor across the public library, which I love. Fantastic. Great for me. Great for me because I'm on the radio all the time saying my name. And also, she got arrested for stealing a car, and I had to write the story. So it was like, Shleytaylor got arrested and charged with stealing a vehicle. This story has been written by Shleytaylor. So if I could rebrand my name as a journalist,
yeah,
it would not be the same name as a noted criminal in the area.
Was changing your name ever a thought?
No.
No. Okay.
I like growing up, I was always like, my name is so common, and I grew up with people with like very unique names, and I was always so jealous. Like,
Yeah.
I always found my name on the keychains. I always got everything, but like
Ali.
it's tough. It's tough when people share your name.
I get what I imagine is just like that story where you're like, I can't believe that I share my name with this particular person.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis is not a common name, I'll tell you that.
I also broke my arm when I was in grade 3, and this other Shleytaylor broke her leg, and we have the same family doctor. So when I went in to get my x-rays, they almost x-rayed my leg, and I said, no, my arm is broken, not my leg. And
that feels like such small town bullshit.
it is. Just the most.
That sounds like such small town nonsense.
And that was in 2003, 20 years ago, and I still remember it vividly.
Like, no, this one. This is
the one with the cast on it? Yeah.
That's the limb. I don't... Notice how I walked in here.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and I mean, since branding is such a thing, like, having a really popular name could definitely also work to your advantage, because it's not so unique that people are going to write you off or forget it either.
Exactly. Yeah. There's definitely some usernames that I've followed them, and then I see them in my live list, and I'm like, I don't remember following 002114. Like, I don't remember who you are.
Whoa. That's so specific.
Call out. I just saw like half of 2 usernames and mixed them together. I'm not calling someone out in particular.
That's later. That's the call out section.
Yeah.
No, that's so interesting to think about too, because like you'd want a name that people can remember, obviously, and like having something like 2 first names like you got works out really well.
Yeah, I guess so. Not doxing myself, but I have 3 first names.
Of course. Of course. Tell me you share that with the other Shleytaylor as well.
No, thankfully. Thankfully.
Imagine. How are we all that? Golly, that would be really weird. Yeah, so now that you've been doing content creation for however long,
2 years next week.
Wow, 2 years next week.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. Do you feel good about that?
It is. When I started, I thought I would be further along than I am now, but like looking at my numbers and knowing how hard it is to grow, like I'm proud of myself for sticking with it. Like some of my friends started at the same time as me, and they gave up after a month or 2 because they're like, I'm not growing, this doesn't work. So I'm proud of myself for sticking with it, but
right.
There is like that voice in the back of my head that's like, why are you still doing this? You have 10 viewers, but like also that's 10 real humans that are watching and chatting with me and having fun. So
yeah, I mean anywhere between like, and I talked with other creators about this, like with Preoccupied and even B. We were talking about like some people will stream for hours to 0, you know?
Exactly.
And she's like and they're like the fact that even a few people want to show up is always like, wow.
Yeah. My first stream was 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Because I was physically shaking. I was so anxious. Like my body was just rejecting the fact that I was live. And then my now mod, Dylan, showed up in chat and was like, hey, how's it going? Like, nice to see you live. What are you playing? And I was like, I need to go. I'm ending my stream now. And I just ended stream and it was 7 minutes and I was like, can I do that again? Am I able to do that again?
Let me start over.
But he's my mod now and it's fine.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, oh man, the first time, like, and that's something like with Tank Bros, like it felt so fine because we didn't even think about it. Like, it was just like, we're just gonna have a camera on us and fucking yell at each other, you know?
Yeah.
about dicks or whatever. Like, and that was, and like I didn't even like pay attention to the numbers at first. And then as you grow, you weirdly, I mean, Twitch definitely like shoves it down your throat. But they like end up paying attention to it a little bit more. You get that fucking email after every stream, like, good job.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I have
chatters.
Like Stream Elements and Twitch both send me an email right after stream.
Yeah, dude,
and they're always different. Like, the numbers are never the same on the two emails.
No, they're not. And that's like, yeah, it's definitely something that Twitch shoves down your throat. And since you said you're such a numbers person, like, how does that affect you? Have you gotten better at not letting it affect you?
I have had moments where I've had to like turn off viewer counts, unsubscribe from the email. Like, I had to do everything to be like, I'm not going to look at any of my numbers, anything. And then if you go to look at your revenue or anything, it shows you that graph of like, this is how many viewers. So like, there's no escaping it at all.
Ever.
So it definitely like gets in your head. And I am in the middle of a bet with one of my mods, Burning Hoodies, that is in chat right now, that I have to play a game from start to finish without streaming anything else in between. And it is not the most popular game on Twitch. I am often the only person in that category when it is streaming. So I have watched my numbers sort of go down during this event, but I have been having fun playing the game, and I'm on the last chapter, and I never finish games, so I'm like proud of myself for getting to the final chapter of this game. So
I am proud of you. That's impressive.
So there's things outside of the numbers that I can be proud of myself for.
Yeah, and it is some like, I was talking with Rare about it. We were talking about like the whole like play what you love. Play what you love, play what you like to do. And then I kind of like countered a little bit, and I was like, easy for you to say, someone who gets 200 people no matter what you're doing. You know, it's very I don't know, it's a different mindset.
It's tough, yeah. And then there's people that like always are playing the same game over and over and over again, and then if for one special stream they're like, I'm gonna play a different game, and then they get half the viewers. So you can either be a variety streamer and just like have to deal with the fluctuation, or stick with one game and then not want to do anything else ever.
Right. And I don't feel like that's, I feel like that's almost like not fair to us at like our own selves, you know?
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of staying forever in one category sounds awful. Like,
it does. I've been having a very hard time with this one game for like 10 streams in a row.
What were you playing? Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to make my go live notification interesting at least, so people are like, oh, maybe I'll go see what Ashley's doing, and then it's just Fire Emblem again.
Got him. His next one should just be brand new game. And Hoodies just
the
comes
next
running.
game in the series.
Yeah. Hoodies just comes running in. I got you, and you're still playing it. Let's try.
I'll do it Monday. That's gonna be my go live. Hoodies, close your ears.
Start of a new game. Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said about like the fluctuation, that up and down thing, and it's hard. Like it's, I usually just delete the email right away. It's like,
yeah,
like don't want to look at it, you know.
Even like the revenue portion, which is really the only important part because I like track it for my taxes. Right. They don't subtract Twitch's half of the revenue in that email, so like it's pretty much useless.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Streamlabs one that I get isn't even accurate, you know. It's like, because it thinks like every like tier 1 is $5, and I'm like, that's how that works, you know?
No.
And it's like, you earned however this from bits, and it's like, no, it's not. No,
That's not how it works.
stop.
But
Stop,
as
it's
you
not-
said, with like numbers, my second week streaming, I got like a 900 person raid. So I went from like 40 followers to 300 followers in
Right.
one stream. And that was 2 weeks in. So I had like an inflated version of how quickly I would be growing, because that like 2 weeks I hit affiliate because I got that raid.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, my next stream I'm gonna get how many followers? And then it just like leveled out at
Right.
5-10 people. So
You're like, oh, neat.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said for that. Like, I got that 1,400 person raid from St. Peach, just like out of nowhere on like a Tuesday afternoon, and I was just like, oh, what do I do?
it was 2 weeks in, so this was like 2 weeks from the stream where I was physically shaking because I
Right.
was so nervous, and then 900 people are watching me stream, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Oh no. And then you like finish stream and you're like, oh, this shit's easy. Like I'm
Look how many followers I got. And then with Twitter, as I was fully like a numbers person with hockey Twitter. I was like baseball and hockey, which is where I met a lot of people. Like I met Aaron and Nick through hockey Twitter, so I wouldn't be part of this community if I hadn't previously been part of sports Twitter. But I had like 10,000 followers, and I've slowly sort of stopped watching as much, stopped live tweeting as much. So I've gone from like 10,000 to 7,000, which is still a lot of people. But like watching that happen has been kind of sad. But I understand that I'm no longer the content that they're looking for.
Well, they also, I noticed the difference too, like the now that they show you like your stats or whatever, like they show it on everything. Like you can't even hide it.
Yeah.
And I imagine like I didn't like do a deep dive and was like, how many do you get or anything like that, but I imagine sometimes that can be disheartening too. Because it's still
when
like,
when it first started, you'd be like, oh, 700 people saw this tweet and 2 liked it. Like, what was wrong with this tweet?
right.
But you also have to think in your head, like, you're scrolling Twitter all day and you're not liking every single tweet on your feed. So
Right.
you have to think in the mind of people that are looking at your content.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sitting there liking every single thing. Plus, like, you know, now that I understand Twitter a little bit better, it like shows other people what you like, and
Yeah.
like how do I support my sex worker friends but not show that to people who don't want to see it, you know?
Exactly. It's tough because like the new For You page just shows you like content your friends are liking and content that
Or retweeting
other
it.
streamers are tweeting, and it's the Wild West out there. You never know. You can't open Twitter at work. It's just not safe regardless of who you follow.
No, I mean, with this, like, I get this like good mix of sex worker Twitter and streamer Twitter, and it gets weird in both camps.
Is there the same amount of drama on both?
I would say that the drama in streamer Twitter is a lot more.
It's the same drama over and over again.
It is, and I would say it's the same drama for the sex worker side too, because usually it's like, it's usually just like some really big model tweeted something that's basically just like, I didn't need to diet and I have this body, what's your problem, or whatever, and everyone's just like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah, that's valid criticism.
yeah, exactly. It's just like, or you know, it's just like this person who absolutely has a fake body, and they're just like, well, just eat right and go to the gym, and you're like, and have tens of thousands of dollars just laying around.
Yeah, that's the part that they don't mention.
Must be easy. But yeah, I think it's like every other day someone on streamer Twitter is getting canceled.
Oh yeah.
Or like canceled, but they're like the type of person that like feeds off of that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's...
If you hate me, it's just because you're negative.
You don't listen to haters. And you're like, maybe you should.
Yeah. You might learn something.
Maybe you should, because you're getting ratioed on every post you make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like people are saying in the chat, it's a lot of the times similar people.
We all know who it is today, yesterday, this week.
This week especially, yeah. Week especially. I have a tweet in my drafts actually about that, which is like not really a subtweet because it literally says the name, but it's like,
yeah, I'm
a therapist in real life and I talk about mental health on stream a lot. Do you think you'll come after me?
Oh no. I saw you reply to the tweet that was like, I would be so embarrassed if I carried a fetus for 9 months and gave birth, and 18 years later it became this person.
Yeah.
I was losing my mind at that tweet.
Unreal. I was like, just embarrassed. Embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassing. Yeah, you see it every week, man. Somebody different. Or it's the same guy like every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're like, how's this guy keep fucking popping up? I don't follow him.
We have an audience when these are their opinions is really the question.
I mean, I just got blocked recently, but it's because, you know.
It is what it is.
Have you gotten blocked before?
There's a lot of people in sports Twitter that do not like women. So I'm blocked by a lot of men that were just like, she has a job in sports and I don't. So those are most of my blocks. I don't think I'm blocked by anyone in stream or Twitter though. That's what they sound like when I read their tweets in my head.
That is a great way to get the like negative comments and stuff like that.
Especially when I worked for a hockey team during my sports journalism schooling, and there was one fan of the hockey team that came to every game. Like, he was the biggest supporter of the team and he hated everyone in the front office. It didn't matter, man or woman. He was just like, I hate every single person that works for this team because I'm not the boss and I don't work there, so I hate everyone. So at least it wasn't just the women that he hated for that one. See? There's ups, there's positives.
Silver lining. I do know, like, yeah, I haven't noticed specifically. I haven't like looked out and seen. I mean, and I'm not on the sports Twitter side of things. But I will sometimes read Facebook comments.
Yeah.
About like any sports team. And especially it's even better on like baseball because like it's 162 games, y'all. Like, relax. You know?
There's too many.
It's 162 games and people like lose one and they're like, they're done, man. They're done. I'm selling my season tickets. And you're like,
cancel the parade.
Why would you? What? Relax. There's plenty to go around. Okay. It's been about an hour. I know you wanted to run to the restroom about on the hour.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Perfect.
Yes. So we'll take a quick little break. I've got more questions about content creation and the mental health side of things. So we'll see y'all in just a minute. And while I'm gone, I'll run the ads so we can get as less pre-rolls as possible.
Perfect.
So we'll see y'all in just a minute. Thank you, Nick. Hurtful. All right, see you in a minute. Bye, everybody. Turn down that music a little bit and bring it back. Hello, Shley. Oh, there we go. I thought I hit all the right buttons and I missed one.
I remembered to unmute, so that's great for me.
Excellent. I'm so proud of you.
I even wore a tank top today, as you can see, tank top.
I see it. I see it.
But I stream in a basement, so I'm freezing, and I had to put a sweat.
That. I did know you streamed in a basement. in a basement in Canada, no less. So I assume
the thought was there, but I had to be warm.
Well, considering you're on one of the Nova Nude Islands or whatever. It's not how you say it, right? Incorrect?
Incorrect.
Okay. Say it for me real quick.
No, thank you.
Wait, why not? Oh no,
You're probably right. You're probably right. It's fine.
No.
Because what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? And then we make a fool of me.
I just made a fool of me.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. What's the next question?
It's the only one left. No, okay. But my next couple of questions are kind of centered a little bit around the whole content creation, and the numbers thing specifically. I know how much numbers can really, like, you can look at them and they can really affect you. How do you, like, what do you kind of do? How do you break that?
I think, like, with Twitch tracker, it shows you like what % of Twitch accounts you're in. And I know, like, if you have 5 viewers or more, you're in the top 3% of Twitch. Mm-hmm. And just thinking of things like that really helps, because as you said, I know there are people that stream to no one for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I would love to go support all of those people, but I don't have the time of the day to do so. But I just know that the number that I'm looking at is a real human that's deciding to spend time with me.
Right.
And if I think about if there were 10 people in this room with me right now, this room would be full. So yeah. There's not enough seats in this room for 10 people. So
right. Somebody's getting
it's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about that idea, and I know that we would all love to I'd love to go out and support everybody that streams all the time, you know? But it's just it's too much at a certain point, mm-hmm. You know? Like, plus I can't be like, hold on, shut up, kid.
I do spend, like, I have an hour lunch break, mm-hmm. and that hour is spent, like, if someone's live between noon to 1 p.m. Eastern, mm-hmm. I'm going to stop into their stream, even if it's for 10 minutes, because I have, like, 10 friends that are live. It's...
Right. Yeah, I feel like everybody, like, there are plenty of... obviously, since I don't have time during the day, I don't have a ton of people who stream during the day that at least mm-hmm. that I follow. But all you East Coasters and some of the Brits that are out there, I'm like, how am I ever gonna catch these people?
Exactly. And then there's you start streaming when I'm going to bed, so
you wake up at like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, so
yeah. It's tough. You gotta get your sleep.
I don't have to wake up until about 8:30, so
there you go. You can stream pretty late then.
Yeah, I can go a little bit later. A little bit. Trav starts screaming at oof. No, I've only ever started a stream once, like, in the morning, but I've never done like a. But it was barely the morning. It was like 11.
Yeah.
I didn't even count it as like a morning stream. So yeah, just with seeing those numbers and seeing Twitch tracker, which literally you can type in anybody on Twitch tracker, and like they even have a compare function, which is kind of fucked up. But like, I know that I try not to check it as often as I should.
Mm-hmm.
but I end up doing it.
Yeah. I have like a physical notebook that I keep all of like my stream goals and stuff in, so I check off when I hit a goal, and one of my pages is like streamers to watch. And it's just like streamers that sort of stream the similar content to me, and they're the people that I go and watch, and like for inspiration, like they're playing this game, they're doing this to interact with chat, they're like Secret Sleepover Society, the duo that rated me with 200 people, they're one of the streams that like they're one of the people that I started watching Twitch for.
Right.
So just going to that chat and knowing that I love viewing those streams, I have like a list of what makes me like those streams and what I can do to my stream to make it similar to that or interact with people in the same way. So like I try to look at stuff like that rather than the number of followers, the number of viewers they have. Like I'm looking at more of the type of content they're creating.
Yeah. What would you say is like kind of like one of the things you look for? Sonic fanfiction or?
Absolutely, content that makes me have to mute my computer. I love that. That's my favorite type of content. But like variety streaming and interacting with chat, like I love going into a stream and having a conversation with the streamer. Like it is a blessing that I only have so many viewers, because I can hold a conversation with everyone that's in chat and everyone can feel like they're connecting with me. I go into a stream with 2,000 viewers and like my chat's going to get missed 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's a tightrope to walk, because you want to grow, but you also want to keep that small streamer feel. So there's it's
difficult, yeah.
Yeah, some of the bigger streamers like take breaks, and that's when they look at chat and they have a conversation with chat while they're not like creating their content. So they can they can still have those conversations, and that's the focus of that moment of the stream.
Yeah. Like I've thought about like we'll say when we'll manifest, right? When we get bigger and become like that, is that how I want to do it? Do I want to like be able to like look over at chat like while I'm doing it, kind of thing? But like imagine somebody like Markiplier who's got like fucking 10,000 people in there. You know? Yeah.
It's just impossible.
You can't read. There's no way you can't read that. It's flying by.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a balance, especially with Twitch chat. It like freezes at some points, so you can just like read one comment and be like, "Oh, this person said this," and then it keeps going. So
right. And I can only imagine like the people like Jacksepticeye or you know, and there are streamers that I watch that have a couple hundred viewers, and they kind of do that pause thing.
Yeah.
Or you know they're doing a calm enough game that they can kind of like look over and read a few.
And you can tell like how invested you are in your chat, because you have your command for these streams specifically that's like, I'm not ignoring chat, I'm just trying to have a conversation with the streamer that's on. So like you can tell that like you care about your chat and you want to have a conversation with them, but sometimes the content just doesn't allow for that to happen.
It's not quite the same all the time.
Yeah.
Like when I'm by myself, like, you know, say whatever you want, you know. But the and then for this specifically, I just was like, well, I don't want chat to feel like they're being ignored. But I also want them to know that like it's a little more talk show feel.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the Q&A at the end, of course. Like
we will read your comments. I promise.
We will, I promise. You know, if there's something that you're like, hey, I really actually have a legit question, or maybe a not so legit question, you know?
Yeah.
What's your favorite color? Red.
I never would have guessed.
It's red. It's red. But yeah, there's definitely a balance that ends up being sought after. What would you say for you like brings you that balance?
Definitely, like as you said, with some small like slower games, there's obviously the time to talk with chat, and I also have my different sort of streams that I do, like, would I fight my follower as a baby? And that entire stream was just talking with chat and figuring out, like, am I gonna fight this baby photo of one of you? And then I have like Shley judges as well, where I have people physically submit an item to the stream. So we're watching something that someone in chat created, and everyone else in chat is also viewing this piece of media that someone in chat has created. And I just think it's like a really cool connection that the entire community can have. Like someone can show off their skills on my stream and have everyone else enjoy it as well. So I feel like things like that create the balance where chat has a moment to shine on my stream.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, there's that the art of the quote unquote like let's play has been changing. You know, I mean, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, but it was like Twitch chat was like played Pokemon.
Okay.
Do you
remember that? The chat controls the game.
Everything. They controlled everything. But
yeah.
Because so many people were doing it, a lot of the times people would like end up in the corner and or they'd like run from a battle that they definitely should have stayed in, and like, you know.
Yeah. I think like different challenges are how you have to get the viewers in. So if you're gonna like allow chat to do something, or you're gonna drink every time you die, or things like that, you have to have like a quirky little thing to be able to get the viewers. Right.
I mean, do you feel like quirks are overused, underused?
I feel like one person can do it and it's super unique for them, and then 10 other people see that stream and they're like, oh, that got a lot of viewers and that's a great idea. Right. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. They don't take like inspiration from it. They're like, I'm going to also drink every time I die. And that's just gonna be the stream I do when 10 other people do it. So
right. And I mean, like, it's not to say that like because we're all just taken from each other, you know, we're all
exactly
doing this that I'm a fucking another white guy with a talk show, give me a break, like like we're all just kind of like taking a little bit from each other, but seeing like that and being inspired, I feel like is such a good, like, it can lead to much better and even more exciting things. I love actually judges that idea. I think it's so much fun.
It's so much work.
Oh, I can only imagine how much work it is, but the fact that people are willing to send you like legit like 10-minute videos
yeah
on like why this should be a thing, and I love the idea that you're like, we're gonna teacher it up and have like a rubric, you know? You know, does he count
it's
as
really
a little
evolved
guy, you know?
Yeah.
That's a lot, which is so cool. And
like the first one I had, everyone submitted their favorite album, and then I just made a playlist with all of the albums. I listened to them all in my own time, and then I just put them on a chart and let people call in. And that didn't really give people time to like prepare what they were gonna say. So the next one, I told them to send in voice notes, and then from there it just continued and changed from voice notes to videos to video essays to.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of like, did you get inspiration from somebody else for that kind of thing? Was that just like
Hoodies told me to do a stream where I judged people's favorite music because he wanted me to listen to his favorite band. So it was just a way for me to listen to a band that I totally remember, and it had a huge impact on me, and I remember it entirely. But that was the stream idea that I had, like, that Hoodies gave me, and then it's just fully evolved from there.
Right.
Pep? Is it Pep? Pep the band? Pip the band? Pop. Okay. We got there.
Oh boy. Oh no. No memory whatsoever of it.
No.
That's amazing. Actually hilarious.
and that's what started Schley Judges. So
For real.
yeah.
So that became like a just like kind of almost a joke in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then it became something way bigger.
Yeah, I started out like I felt so bad rating people's like favorite things
Right.
low, and it like made me so nervous to do that
Right.
stream. I was like, I can't, like, someone told me their favorite thing and I'm gonna put it in the D tier on my tier list. Like I felt bad, but the back and forth between me and chat started building, and everyone started guessing what I was going to rank things.
Right.
And it started becoming more than just like me rating things. It was like chat saying what they thought of things and everything, so I didn't feel quite as bad.
I do enjoy like making tier lists because the back and forth with chat is so much fun, because I'm like, fuck strawberry soda, and everyone's like, what? How dare you? How could you? And I'm like, it's gross, like, I don't know. But it became like a thing, and we've done a lot of tier lists, fast food and sodas. I think at one point we did the Disney tier one, like.
You're getting all of the Disney adults mad.
Gosh, yeah.
But
we all agreed that A Bug's Life is mid, so.
I don't know if I've ever even seen that, so.
You're not missing anything.
We figured out like categories that work for Schley Judges and ones that don't, because we started with albums, which was easy. I could go listen to an album,
Right.
But then we moved to movies, and I couldn't watch 25 movies before the stream.
No,
so
way too many.
we judged them based on their trailer alone.
Right.
And that got a bit of heat. There were some people that were quite upset with me and told me it was kind of useless to judge a movie based on the trailer. And I was like, listen, it's the format. We're going with the format. And then we've done favorite cartoons and superheroes. And one of them was...
superhero one.
Yeah, one of them was Chat Judges Schley. So everyone asked me my favorite things, and then they got to judge me, and I had to sit through what they've all sat through for multiple streams.
Yeah. So they judged your favorite stuff.
Yeah, like Nap asked me my favorite D&D race or class, and Aki asked me my favorite superhero, and then they sent me their videos of them roasting my favorite things.
Oh yeah. Why? Of course. Of course, that checks out to me. Yeah.
You gotta be able to take what you give. So.
Right. Yeah, people, and that's why I'm like, listen, if you can change my mind about this tier list that I'm making right now,
exactly.
present your argument.
Do it. It's the meme that's like changed my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me why you think cream soda is good, because it sounds disgusting.
Okay, I disagree with you on that one.
I don't think, because I've never had it, but I'm like, it's like a root beer float is good, but that has like a flavor already.
Yeah.
But like, if it's just like milk that's bubbly, what? I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
I'll let you hold on to that.
Well, one of the challenges that I have planned for the future is I'm gonna buy a bunch of sodas, and then Shy and I are gonna try them all together.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of like weird, like they have the new like Coke Move or whatever. And I tried that, and that kind of inspired that idea.
Oh, it has to just all be mixed with milk. Just pilk, but with all of the weird flavors.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. My stomach was so glad that stream was over.
I did not like watching that clip. You posted it on TikTok, and it made my stomach feel ill.
My stomach was so happy. Like, I kept like looking at the clock thing, it just being like, I don't think I can handle this much longer. My stomach was just flipping.
So this upcoming soda stream is going to be fantastic for your stomach.
Well, I feel like I can handle soda better than I can handle soda milk. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think. What do you feel like are some of the future moves for Shleytaylor?
Oh, geez. That's just a large question, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure. Like, I feel like I've made a lot of changes in the last 2 years. Like, I started out streaming in my bedroom from my laptop, and now I have a gaming PC and a stream office. Like, I feel like in 2 years I've evolved a lot, so I don't know where I'll be in 2 years from now. I feel like my just chatting streams are my favorite streams. My Shley Judges, my Would I Fight This Baby, my tier lists, like all of those things are my favorite streams to do, but they also take so much planning, and I work a full-time job. So
same, yeah.
So I can do like a fun big event stream once a month, and then my other streams throughout the month are currently just gaming content, but I want to get to a point where at least half of my streams are event, just chatting sort of streams.
Right. Yeah, no, the just chattings are fun.
I've started watching some people that like are react streamers. I don't know how legal it is, but I've watched people like reacting to 90 Day Fiancé and stuff, and I get so hooked in the stream, both to see what the streamer's thinking of the show and to just watch the show on its own. So
I mean, that was the whole point of the Country Music Power Hour stream.
Yeah.
It's just like get my reactions of just being like, I have these big noise canceling headphones on.
And it's just country music.
For country music.
Oh no, was it like new country or old?
It was
country?
all over. So some of the older stuff they had, Hank Williams Sr. and Johnny Cash and they had some of like the older stuff that's like okay, like there's definitely some like honkiness in it. But some of the newer stuff is also like, this is brutal.
Oh, I love me some stomp and holler music, but like I can't do new country. I land on the line of like folk and country, but new country is just not for me.
There's some brutal stuff out there. We did the what is it? Honky Tonk Badonka Donk.
Oh,
and
wow.
There was not a single Badonka Donk in that video.
Oh,
it was just a bunch of tall, skinny white women. And I was like, well, that feels apropos, doesn't it?
Starting a petition for more badonkadonk.
Bunch of bedazzled jeans everywhere. And...
Oh no.
So the future is going to be more events. Do you have ideas for events, or is it going to be like more Shley Judges and more things like that?
We're currently planning a Shley Judges, so I currently I want it to be more like as a real judge, there's two, like a defendant and so we have people going head to head in the upcoming Shley Judges
content thing.
Yeah. So we have 2 people fighting about their favorite album, and I have to decide which of those albums is better. 2 people, there's their favorite Final Fantasy, which I don't like any Final Fantasy, so that's gonna be a tough one for me to choose. But they're
oh my
we have Final Fantasy 9 against Final Fantasy 10, so we're gonna have to see which one we're gonna choose. So it's gonna be more interesting than the previous ones because they're actually up against each other, and there's a winner and a loser.
Wow, straight up. I like that. Any others, or do you literally just go one at a time?
It's one at a time. After the stream's done, I take time to like breathe because it is like multiple months of working, like DMing people, being like, "Hey, are you gonna send me this thing? Are you still participating? I don't mean to bug you, but I want to do this stream."
I don't mean to
So-
bug you, but yeah.
It's just months of planning. So
Mhm.
once I'm done one stream, I take a little break and then I start planning the next one. So
That's a smart move.
yeah.
That's a smart move, just to be like, I'm gonna take it a day at a time. And you said you have a stream notebook, and that's literally what this whole thing is. It's just like every idea, and they usually come on stream, and I don't know why that is. But they
It's
come
like,
on stream.
fix this alert. That's like
Yeah.
half of my things.
But like there's like merch ideas on here, and streamer tip ideas, and like, you know, like that whole thing, and I have to be like, oh shit, okay, yeah, and then people are like, let's play this on Super Friends Sunday, and I'm like, shit, okay, yeah, we'll play Uno, okay, yes, you know.
Oh jeez.
Which
and
I love.
with event streams, I'm very bad at keeping secrets. Like, my mods chat is just like, as soon as I find something out, I at my mods and I'm like, you'll never believe what just happened. And I have such a hard time like keeping secrets that if I planned event streams in advance, everyone would know by the time it was happening what was happening. So if I don't plan it, then I can't spoil the surprise.
So when is Shley judges sports?
Oh, I don't think I have enough sports fans in my community. Everyone will be like, "Yay, sports ball."
Interesting. I mean, I like the idea.
It's a good idea. I'm listen, this is how I get my sports Twitter followers back into my circle. I tweet, "We're doing a Shley judges sports." And then all of my sports followers are gonna come over to Twitch. We've got it figured out.
All of
Big
them.
brain moves.
All of them. It happens every time. Yeah, some about like, and we talked with I think it was Ninbao that we talked about this with, was the idea of getting people from one site to another.
Oh yeah, that's impossible.
Sometimes damn near impossible, right?
You
know, because
like
yeah, go ahead.
I've had YouTube Shorts like blow up, and I haven't gained a single subscriber or Twitch follower from it. Like, people are ruthless out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's hard to get them, like, they're already on one site. Why would they go to another? You know?
And the content has to be like so good that it's going to make them close the app that they're on and change the app
over. And if you're like not live, like, they're like, why would I follow this person? Yeah, because I've been posting YouTube Shorts lately, and I've gotten some subscribers on YouTube for it, but like, I don't think I've had a single person come into my chat be like, I saw you on YouTube.
Yeah, me either. I have a few people that come over like once in a while. They're like, hey, I follow you on Twitter for years and I just saw your go live. Yeah. Like, that's cool. That's nice that you came from Twitter, but
yeah, hello.
Like TikTok, YouTube, things like that, you're not going to get people to come over easily.
My TikTok has actually been more fruitful for that.
You're very good at TikTok and you post so often and they're all bangers. So that's... Makes sense.
And I like the idea of I post one a day, and sometimes sometimes my low effort ones explode out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the why did that blow up, you know? And other times it's just like, the one where I pissed a bunch of men off, right?
Yeah.
No, I can't appeal it. I can't even appeal it.
Oh no.
They're like, it's bullying and harassment. I'm like,
you're gonna get shadow banned.
I really hope not. Like, I'm really nervous about legit getting shadow banned for that. Because I think the only thing that people are like, it's harassment is when I called the guy a fucking moron, you know?
And it was justified.
He was being a fucking moron. Only fair.
Exactly.
He's literally out there harassing and bullying the entirety of women.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I call one dude a fucking moron, and they're like, "That's harassment."
And then there will be people in your comments that are like, "Oh, we've got a white knight over here. We've got
I got
such
those.
a simp."
I got those. Yeah.
Like, men can't just be nice to women because they're human.
I got the I hope she sees this, bro. And Shy went and commented on it, and she's like, she did.
That's perfect. It worked.
That's what I said. I was like, it worked. Thanks for your prayers. Yeah, but like that, I've noticed that specifically with men online is like, men have a lot harder time supporting other men.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't put my finger on it. My only thinking is it's patriarchal, and men supporting men would be gay.
That, or like they're going to spend their money because they're like, if I give 10 gift subs to this lady, she's gonna go on a date with me. So like they're spending their money where they think they'll see a return.
Right.
But that's not how it works.
Right. Like, oh, well, let me gift hundreds of subs and maybe I'll see booby, you know? And it's no, it's not the place to do it. And even if there was the other place to do it, the only schmans, you could easily do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Go and do that. I don't know. Definitely got a lot of hate for that one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hate for that
and
one.
I feel like women on Twitch like often are supporting other women because they're like, men are the top amount of streamers, so like
always
I'm going to go support another woman because I know the men are going to make money regardless. So this woman's going to get harassed. I'm gonna go support her because I want to be nice to her.
Well, there's that graph that they put out. It was a few months ago, but the disparity between like small male streamers and the big male streamers was massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no in between. Either you're down here or you're up here, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because that's up here is where you have like the XQCs and the ninjas and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the women start out a lot higher, but plateau a whole lot lower.
Yeah, like Cutie and Pokey are all like right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, Valkyrie. Yeah. And you think about that and you go like, what is this big... First of all, why is there this massive gap?
Yeah.
Who's supporting these people? You know? And what is and again, like the whole men supporting men thing at this lower level, I wonder if it could be that whole I'm trying to get a return.
Mm-hmm.
What, you think I'm gonna give you biddies? Fuck you, bro, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, take it easy.
Oh.
Or I don't know. It's something I've been trying to rack my brain around, and every other streamer has like a different answer.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it might be patriarchal, it might just be, you know, kind of a homophobic idea.
Yeah, like they might not even realize that it's internalized homophobia, but they're just like, I'm not gonna sub to this man because I don't want the sub badge.
Right. And I've thought about that whole, you know, where does that come from? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it ends up being like, you can look on your stats and stuff like that. Like a majority of my followers on TikTok are female.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
and mine are the opposite. So
what is that, right? Like,
yeah,
is that an internalized thing? Like, is that purpose? Did somebody, you know? No,
it's a great mystery. We'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. Guess we'll never know. I love the idea of, you know, I like, personally, I've been a fan of breaking the gender norms, and you know.
Mm-hmm. Your maid stream was very good.
Thank you. Thank you. That character is the worst. She is the worst.
It's great though. We love it. Your TikTok the other day that was like when guys see the thumbnail and think I'm a woman.
Oh.
It was
I do remember
fantastic.
that, yeah.
But like, as you said, with like men only supporting women mostly, there's been like weirdo men that have come into my chat. So
Right.
90% of my mods are men, because I feel like the weirdo men will listen to my male mods more than they would listen to my female mods.
Right.
So like if Carly went to go talk to some weirdo, they'd be like, oh, another hot lady. But if Aaron or Nick went to talk to them, they'd listen to them. So I feel like I need male mods to be able to protect me, which is terrible and sad. But
that's such an interesting thought too. Like, yeah, it's the whole like hit on a girl at the bar, they won't listen to her.
Mm-hmm.
But the second a guy's like, yo, back off, he'll be like, sorry, you know.
Exactly. It's the exact same thing.
Oh man, I have a big old story about that, but we'll get too far into that. Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about working against that kind of constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mean, do you have like a specific time where they're like a weirdo in your chat just got so beyond, like went from 0 to 100, or like
absolutely.
Yeah.
During my subathon,
Okay.
purple checkmark account came into my stream and asked if there was a like level to donate to go on a date with me, because I had like the list of things, like if you donate 5 subs you get this, if you don't.
Right.
Their first time chatter came in and was like, is there a level to go on a date with you? And like immediately no. Oh, so yeah, all of my mods just immediately were like, hey buddy, no. So
golly,
there's just like, there's weirdos that come in and their first chat is like, hey, can I ask you a question? And they insta ban. But then there's people that don't go through the step of can I ask you a question, and they just ask the question, and oh, it's rough out there.
that's a red flag. Oh my god. Luckily I am like also like I don't have, like, knock on wood or whatever, but I don't have as many weirdos every so often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I made a TikTok about it, but like when they came in, they're like, oh, to pull your curls between my legs. And I was like, all right.
Oh geez. I also did a stream that was probably not legal, where I was watching the World Juniors, like the silver, no, the bronze medal game. I don't know. I don't remember. Was it the silver? I don't know. It was the semifinals. Anyways, I was watching, yeah, the semifinals. I was watching it on stream and I had 120 viewers because I had in my stream title like watching the World Juniors, and I was streaming in sports. And there were people that were coming in. Like, you could see my camera and the game. So in the thumbnail, you knew there was a person.
Right.
People were coming in and be like, could you shut up so we can hear the game, you greasy e-girl? I was like, you saw my face. You saw my face in the thumbnail before you clicked on the stream. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You came into my stream and you're telling me to shut up. Like,
greasy e-girl. Wow.
I had my cat ear headphones on for that one, but
oh well, of course.
Oh, it was rough, but
wow, greasy.
And I made the mistake of raiding after that stream, and I felt terrible because like I didn't realize if you ban someone and they can still watch your stream, they just can't chat.
Right.
So when you raid, they get taken with the raid. Mm-hmm. So all of those awful people that we had banned in my stream got taken to the next person, and I like that's something I've learned now. Like if there's weirdos in my chat, I might not raid out because I didn't know that they'd get carried with it. So it's like things you have to learn along the way.
I definitely did that once when I got doxxed live on stream. We banned everybody, and then they went into the next stream.
Oh no!
And
did the exact same thing.
Started trying to fuck with that person. And like I had to like message their mods and be like, I'm so sorry, we banned them. I just assumed they left.
Yeah. I went into this person's stream the next day and was like, I'm so sorry, I banned them all in my chat. Like, I didn't expect this to happen. And they were like, oh, it's fine, I have thick skin. But like I could tell they didn't have mods. Like it was just them. It was really sad.
Yeah. We raided into a birthday stream that time. We were
oh.
Like, I really meant well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad time. And like that. Gosh. So I know that we're about at that 2-hour mark.
I'm good. I'm good.
You want to just go right into Q&A?
Just power through.
All right, y'all. It's Q&A time. If you have any questions kind of related to what we were talking about, maybe not something we weren't talking about, feel free to ask it to either Shley or myself. It can be related to what we were talking about. It can be not related, like I said. It can also be to one of us, both of us.
Travis wants questions for Travis.
I do. I'm very, very vague.
Aaron says Schleecon win.
Schleecon win. When can I come to Canada?
I wasn't part of the initial conversation where the Schleecon joke started. So I was like pinged on Discord and was like, we're having a convention and it's called Schleecon and it's going to be in Toronto. And I was like, oh, okay. I was unaware of this. So every time a meeting of people comes up, someone says Schleecon win. I don't want to have a TanaCon situation, so I don't think we're going to name a convention after me. Please and thank you.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. Smart call.
Cyber says, can I ask a question? Can we ban Cyber? Red flag. Big red flag.
Red flag. Red flag. Yeah, you're kind of essential. You are kind of essential to Schleecon, though.
Yeah, exactly. I have to be there. Hoodie says, one, how dare you? And my answer to that is, Hoodies, I will fight you. Question 2, how did the secret sleepover raid happen? Because I know they had to plan it to do it beforehand. So as you saw in my Chat Judges Shley stream, I was like very close with Jacob and Julia. Like I DM'd with them. We were besties in like the most influencer and viewer. They had no interest in me and I just DM'd them all the time, probably. So I just DM'd Jacob and was like, hey, you inspired me to start streaming. I just started and I'm trying to hit affiliate. Is there any way that you'd be willing to raid into me one night? And then he told me when they were streaming and I said, okay, I'll stream at 11 p.m. this Wednesday. You can raid into me. And that's how it happened. 900 friends came into my stream 2 weeks after I started streaming, and I was unprepared.
Wow, that I'm surprised that legit worked, because I feel like if someone was like, "You should raid me sometime," I'd be like, "No."
I asked it in like the nicest way possible. I like so many compliments. I was like, you inspired me to start streaming, and I started my Twitch account so I could follow you, and like so many compliments before I asked.
Like it's Graham Norton show, right? I don't know if you've seen the Graham Norton show.
No.
It's a celebrity talk show, whatever, but it was Pink was on it, and she was talking about how she like wrote Eminem this like huge like email about like, you're so amazing, you're so inspiring, I love you, please like let's make a song together, I would love that. And all he responded was with okay.
Oh no. She got a response though,
She
and
got a
like,
response. I mean, I
what
would
else?
also email Pink back.
Same, to be honest. Mr. Matt says, is Shley Judges truly ending? Will it make a season 2 return? This technically is season 2. The Chat Judges Shley was the season finale of season 1. But
Season 2.
as I said before, it takes so long to plan, and I also need chat's cooperation. And like, it started the first stream, I had like 24 people submitted their albums. Right now I have like 7 people signed up for the next one. So like, it's kind of, I can feel it trickling off, and I don't want it to like burn out. I want to like give it a proper send off. So if people are interested in still participating, I would love to carry it on, but I don't want to be the streamer that begs chat to participate in something that they don't want to be part of anymore. So if chat would like it to continue, it can, but if not, it won't.
It won't. Deal with it. Yeah, I think there's you know, I was like, I'm gonna stream all of Pokemon Scarlet. And then like, it just never felt like it, like people were all that interested.
Yeah.
A whole lot more lurking, you know, those kinds of things. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, I would never be upset where people were lurking. It was just like,
Yeah.
okay, it's fine. I'll just do it on my own, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I definitely know, like, when streamers I watch are playing a certain game, I know they're going to be talking to chat more, so like, I might show up to that stream more, because as I said, like, I love interacting with streamers.
Yeah.
So if they're playing a game that like they're gonna be fully focused on the game and they're not gonna talk to chat that game, like, I'm probably either gonna pop up a lurk or gonna go watch someone else. So
Right.
It's tough.
And that balance is tough too, because you like also don't want to annoy them, and like, we all have that like kind of imposter syndrome where we feel like we're annoying everybody all the time.
Yeah. I believe you once told me I become the main character when I pop into someone's chat, and I was like, oh my god, is that terrible? Is that bad? Am I doing something wrong? So I try to like not make everything about me, but like, I like to go in and chat with the streamers.
But like it's even like I've ran into that where the streamer, like, you come in and you say like hello, and then they're like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? Welcome in. What games have you been playing lately? And you're like, well, I'm gonna answer them.
That's a lot of questions, and I'm gonna
You're like, I'm gonna answer them, but I'm not trying to make this chat all about me all of a sudden, you know?
Exactly. And then like, if you say hi and someone has a lot of viewers and they're like, can we get a shout out for Ashley, please? I'm like, I didn't just say hi for the shout out, I promise.
No, I just got here. It was a salutation. That'd be a
Are
lot,
there other
for sure.
questions?
I have more that aren't related to fucking anything.
Okay, shoot.
The classic 1 duck-sized horse, or wait, 1 horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses. Who would you rather fight?
The horses, absolutely.
The duck-sized
Absolutely.
horses?
Yeah, I could take them on. The duck would think of the wingspan. Think of the wingspan. Take you out right away. The horses, I could get them. They're mine.
But like like there's 10 of them.
Yeah, but like, they're probably not all going to be interested in fighting me. Like, some of them are probably just going to be off eating grass or something,
That's
and
the
then I
idea,
can
though, is
just.
they're all coming after you.
I still think I could do it. I think like, it's the same thing as like, how many kindergartens could you fight? All of them, every single one. So that's. I've got it. It's the duck-sized horses.
Okay.
Next question.
Yeah. But yo, Hoodie's just asked that exact same question. How many 8-year-olds can you pay to fight? So that's like 2nd grade, grade 2, right?
Grade 2.
They're a little bit bigger.
I don't know. Like, I have 2 older brothers, so when my oldest brother was 8, I was like 4. So I feel like I've grown up in a situation where I had to fight people that were bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I could fight people that are smaller than me, I feel like I'd have an advantage, because I've trained I've trained in a higher level. Like
Right.
I've trained in a different weight class than I'm fighting in.
Yeah, you're going above and beyond there.
Yeah. But like they might be like below the belt. If I go to punch and they're lower, I might miss. So
Right.
so it's tough, really.
Right, and like if they're all swinging for like belt line, like that could get dangerous.
Very. So
Yeah, I don't know.
let's say 2. I could take on 2.
I've taken on a few in like fake wrestling type stuff
Mhm.
because of all like the little cousins and their kids and stuff like that. So it's just like, you know, when you're just like they're on your shoulders and you're just kind of walking around
Yeah.
like Godzilla type of thing. I've done that before, but truly fighting, I feel like I could get like a good like 5-6, I think.
I've done like camp counseling and stuff, and if I've been in charge of like a group of 10 children, and just trying to wrangle them all together
Right.
was a lot of power had to come into wrangling children. So
Mhm.
it's harder than you think.
Yeah. Well, if it's 1v1, well, if it's 1v1, I feel like I could go a lot farther. Like it's like one person and then like one second grader and then another second grader and then another. Like I can handle that versus like all of them at once.
Like surrounded, yeah.
Yeah, all of them at
I've been
once is a
training
lot.
at the gym, weightlifting and cardio, so I think I'm set. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Send them out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was leg day yesterday, so I'm feeling it right now.
Well, there you go.
Weird question for you. What is the food that you liked as a kid and then no longer?
I was not a vegetarian growing up, and I'm now a vegetarian. So my favorite food growing up was cabbage rolls. I know I'm weird, but it's my family is German, so
That checks out.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But they're stuffed with beef. So I've tried to make them with like Beyond Meat and stuff. It's just not the same.
Right.
It just doesn't cut it.
Right. I've had.
What about you? What's yours?
I used to love peaches as a kid.
Oh, and you don't like they're too icky now?
It's too tart now.
Okay.
Like I used to like a whole lot more like peaches and berries and things like that, and now I'm like, so it's just a little too tart. Like I have to like have it as like a hint of that. Much more than like, you know, like a blueberry muffin. Like it's like that's like a hint of blueberries sometimes. There's like 2 in there, you know. That I can handle, but if it's like a peach scone where it's just like a little bit of pastry and then a whole bunch of peaches stuffed in there, too much.
I disagree, but
It's too well.
I respect your opinion.
I had a Beyond Burger fairly recently that was actually like really good.
That's good. Sometimes they're like too good, and I'm scared they've served me the wrong thing.
You know
Like,
what? Yeah.
Burger
maybe I
King-
just got a burger.
Burger King sells Impossible Burgers, and those like are the ones that taste like real beef.
Right.
And I've ordered it before, and I've compared it to like someone else's burger, and I'm like, I think they served me beef. Like it looks the same, it tastes the same. But maybe it was just a very good Impossible Burger.
Maybe, yeah. When did you decide to switch over vegetarian?
Grade 9.
Okay.
I was a little scene kid, and I supported PETA for a hot second, but no longer. But I had like the little stickers that were like fish are friends, not food.
Right.
And so throughout high school I was a vegetarian the entire time. And then I went to university, and like the meal plan you get when you live in residence, the only vegetarian option I had was grilled cheese. So I was a vegetarian for a couple months of university, and I was malnourished. So I had to start eating meat so that I wouldn't die. And then once I was out of university, I went back to vegetarian.
Okay, got you. That, you know what? Shleytaylor makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Shleytaylor
It does.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's when Coheed and Cambria was my favorite band, and
I legitimately like when I was pulling a shirt out, like that was the one right below this one. Like was my Coheed tank top. I should have worn it.
You should have.
I didn't know. I didn't know Coheed, huh?
Oh yeah, I went to see them in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time being in a pit. I was in 10th grade. I was terrified. I went with my 2 older brothers, so like they were standing around me so I wouldn't get thrown into the pit. But
did you like go into the pit? Did you?
We were close to the front. Like people were shoving to get into the pit, but I did not go in the pit.
Okay. Have you ever pitted before? I
have not. Oh. I had braces for far too long to risk anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put myself in a situation where I could lose a tooth, I think my parents would disown me.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I think I told you, or you've been around for this story before, but it was at a Slipknot show, and I wasn't even in the pit at this point. But we were jumping around, and I jumped up and I got pushed while I was in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously you're like losing balance. Like
yeah,
I expect you to land there, and now I'm not landing there. I like put my arm back and I felt just like sharp hardness on my elbow. And I hit some dude in the mouth.
Oh no!
And so I was like, oh god, I didn't mean to do that. I like looked at my elbow and there wasn't any, it was just red. But I was like, okay. And I looked to make sure he was okay. And he's like this. He's like, oh god. And I'm like, oh shit, like I really fucked this guy up. I'm gonna have to like owe this dude money. And then like he just kind of goes like that, and then he sticks like the tooth into his hand. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And this guy just goes, good hit, and then pushes past me into the pit.
I have like braces behind my teeth that are going to be there for the rest of my life. Yeah, so retainer, like all of my teeth are connected. So my biggest fear is if I lose a tooth, it's just gonna be hanging there because it's connected to the rest of my teeth. Oh, no. I have nightmares about that. So if I was that guy, I wouldn't have been able to go on.
Oh yeah. Oof. Yeah, I got the retainer on the bottom ones.
Mm-hmm. Top and bottom, it's awful.
That sounds weird. That sounds weird.
Mm-hmm. I asked my orthodontist, I was like, so how long do these stay on? And he said, how long do you plan on having your teeth?
Wow.
I was like, okay, I guess forever then.
I guess, yeah. What choice do I have? Wow. Old man Mr. Matt says, if you could go back and redo any of your streams, what would you be doing?
Oh, that's interesting. I would have tried to power through my 7-minute stream because that just like built up more anxiety. Like going live the first time is the biggest hurdle, but after quitting 7 minutes in, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that again. So if I could go back to myself 2 years ago and be like, hey, you're fine. You know how to talk to people. You can stay live for longer than 7 minutes. Right. That like I might have changed how I started streaming.
Mm-hmm. Wow, redo a stream. I don't think I hold any like regrets of streaming.
Mm-hmm. Like your journey is your journey. You're here because that's how you started, right?
I guess the one thing I can think of is when Cam and I finished off an entire bottle of nondescript cinnamon whiskey by ourselves.
Yeah.
Which was
I saw someone got banned on Twitch the other day for being intoxicated on stream, and it was like a perma ban. So I feel like the bigger you get, the more Twitch watches if you're breaking TOS, and being intoxicated on stream is against TOS. So
yeah. Well, you also I know the other one is I also noticed that you can't like I'll do a shot for 5 subs or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know you can't do that.
I think your hype train is safe. Like, it's not a specific number of like a dollar amount, right? So
I also am very intentional with like looking directly at camera and being like, I'm taking shots of my own volition.
This has nothing to do with the fact that there's a hype train.
It just happens to be happening right now.
They'll never know.
Is streaming intoxicated and they're being blackout drunk. Yeah, they definitely go after the more like people being really, really wasty.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you, yeah, and just like Matt said, I know you can't like promote drinking. Like, come on, everybody drink. Like, you know,
yeah.
Which is also
I tell people to grab a beverage.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I'm like, feel free to take a shot of whatever liquid that you prefer.
I just did dry Feb, so I often rely on at least an alcoholic beverage to like get me through a stream. Mm-hmm. So a month of streaming without alcohol showed me that I can do it. Like I'm drinking water right now. I'm not drinking an alcohol, so
mm-hmm.
it got me out of relying on having a social crutch.
I do feel like there was at least at the beginning of Tank Bros, we were kind of using that as kind of our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a social crutch type thing. It was definitely more like, and then eventually it almost became a comfort thing, you know, just like like we don't need it, but it's, you know, it's nice to have just in case, you know.
Yeah. I also, one of the clips that like blew up on YouTube was me popping open champagne for my birthday stream. Mm-hmm. And the people were so mean in the comments, and they were like, why is this girl drinking alone? She's just in a room all alone and she's drinking by herself. And I was like, when you put it like that, it is kind of sad. I am hanging out with like 10 other people, but at the same time, I am alone in a room.
I mean that is one of the weird things about stream, because like I liked noticing that, or I like that feeling of like there's people here talking, we're all hanging out, and we're all doing the same exact thing. We're just doing it quote unquote parasocially, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. What do they think people did during COVID? Exactly. I did plenty of like drinking in game night type stuff on
like Discord and everything. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a lot of Zoom calls. Yeah, I think there's yeah, that's always such an odd thing. Odd thing to think about. And I feel like I think I remember that clip too, because people are like, why does she scream so much? And you're just like, well,
can I not have fun?
Can I not just be enjoying myself? Like, do you go to a amusement park and you're just like, everyone's having fun?
I'm just gonna sit here and be grumpy.
Like nobody screams. I'm just gonna be flat faced.
Yeah.
No affect whatsoever.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I can't do a straight face. I couldn't even do a pretend.
You'll have to do like good TikTok content right here is like don't smile or laugh challenges.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
There's my react video. It's just try not to laugh.
I like that's the reason I like doing the what do you call it? The just chatting streams, like, because that's what they turn into a lot. We start talking about something and I'm like, wait, you haven't seen you haven't seen Chicken Attack? What do you mean? You know, like everybody knows Chicken Attack, and they're like, I've never seen it. It's got like 10 million views. What do you mean?
Love it.
Hell yeah.
My question for chat: what did everyone have for dinner?
Ooh,
that's my go-to question every time I stream. I need to know what everyone had for dinner.
I haven't had dinner yet.
I had a protein bar between work and coming here because I only had an hour, so I might have a snack when I go home.
A snack? I like
I have microwave popcorn, and I'm thinking about it.
Ooh. That's like what we're feeling.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Is there any we got Subway, gross.
We've got beef with Subway.
I used to work at a Subway. I used to manage one.
Oh, so you know how gross everything
I know everything.
Oh, I hate that because I had Subway for lunch yesterday.
TRAV judges, absolutely. I don't
Hoodies,
judge,
what's your
I
last
don't
question?
judge you. I don't judge you or anybody who enjoys it. I judge Subway itself.
They have the new rice wraps. That's what I had for lunch yesterday.
They have rice wraps now?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Can't imagine those are good.
It's that or a veggie delight sub, so.
Do you don't like the patty things? That's weird.
Oh, no.
Yeah, weird. It's almost like they're awful and disgusting.
Both get plopped into an empty city. There are all sorts of weapons and supplies. You must fight. Who wins?
City is sealed off so you can't leave it? Oh man, I'm not a fighter at all.
All of the questions have been, would you fight this person?
Right?
Neither of us are fighters, but I feel like I can get scrappy. If I need to be scrappy, I can get scrappy. So.
Sure. I'm just a big dude. Like, I think I just got like... I don't know how tall Shley is, but like... I might just have like wingspan and power.
I don't know. Kitty told me I'm a tall goddess woman. I was not much taller than Kitty, but I was taller than her.
You hold yourself high. You definitely hold. You either got really good posture, or you just hold yourself really high.
They got pew pews. I live in Canada and have never held a pew pew before, so I don't think I would know how to use it.
Oh, they like give them away at school lunches, so.
Yeah. Nick, you're wrong.
Kitty's like 4'9" though. That's fair. Yeah. Not really fair. They got swords and pew pews though. Like I mean, eventually, one of us is going down. Like I don't know. It's an empty city. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna be like cooking something, and Shley will sneak in.
Yeah.
Last of Us style, and just you know.
Probably like if you're cooking, I come in with like the cast iron pan over the head.
I love my cast iron pan.
That's your weapon of choice.
It's great. I love it. It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy and a bitch to clean.
Absolutely. That's why I don't use it. We have one and I just refuse to use it because I don't want to clean it. They got cars and stuff. I would just get a Jeep and drive over everything until like if I hit a curb, if I hit Travis, I don't know, it'll feel the same.
It will feel the same. Yeah, I am about the size of a curb. So
yeah.
I think there's, I don't know, if there's cars I can actually, you know, get into and drive.
Yeah.
I don't know how to hotwire, you know.
It's probably keys.
So that makes a difference, right?
Yeah, you just hit the panic button until you find the car that you have the keys for, and then you get in and drive.
Right. So we're just like popped into like some apartment.
Yeah.
You
it's
know?
like a mall parking lot.
Like, do
just
I have
filled with
access
cars.
to Google and things like that? Like,
probably, but like if it's an abandoned city, maybe there isn't anything on the internet anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the internet still exists.
What if the computers get shut down like they were going to in 2000? Remember that? The computers
Y2K?
were...
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that probably 2025 computers are gone forever.
Okay.
That's my
there is no
prediction.
No Google, nothing like that.
I would, if that was the case, I would just sit down and let Travis murder me. I couldn't survive without my Googles.
So like, in order to get let out, do we have to, like, one of us has to go?
It's Hunger Games. There has to be one winner.
There's one winner. Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't want to, but I wouldn't want to like win.
Yeah. You wouldn't feel good about it, but you'd get released, so.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if like full on fight or flight would take over.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly speedy, you know. I'm not running 9-minute miles or anything.
I have a shoulder injury that prevents me from running, so.
Did you like Stairmaster instead?
Yeah.
I do too. It's the worst.
And the rower. Oh, I did a rowing competition the other day. I am not fit for rowing.
Rowing's tough.
It is. It hurts.
Tough when you're doing, especially when you're like, you know, that competitive little side of you kicks in and you're all of a sudden like, I gotta get this.
I was about to give up, and then like the personal trainer at the gym came over and like looked at my time, and she was like, "You're doing pretty good," and that was enough for me to keep going.
Thank you. Your water bottle's empty. Yeah, rowing is not easy. I was still like the Stairmaster still like it's like not even like 6-7 minutes in and I'm like already feeling like sweaty and gross. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I know it's working.
I just don't like the feeling of it.
I don't like the feeling. Yeah. I got my gym headphones and I'm like, bah. I'm not an earbuds person, but I will say, I do want to say, if there are any other questions, feel free to throw them in now. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you, Ms. Shleytaylor.
Thank you for having me. This has been wonderful.
Hell yeah. I'm going to throw your link tree in chat right there.
What the heck? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. definitely. If you haven't, I know a lot of, thank you for doing that. Whoever did that. Definitely follow Shley on all the things. She won't notice because you'll be like one of 8,000 or whatever on Twitter, but like do it anyway.
Also, if you hear from my stream, follow Travis. Thank you.
But yes, thank you so much for being here. It was really interesting. I like journalism was something that I had originally thought about when I got to school. If I wasn't going to do music, it was like, well, then what? You know?
Well, hear me out. I started university. I wanted to go into social work. So look at us just trading.
Just swapping.
I did like the test to get into the social work and everything. And then I worked at like the one social work firm in my community and I hated it. It was like my summer job. It was awful.
Social work's really, really hard.
It's not for everyone, and it was not for me. So I went back to school that fall and changed my major.
We answered a question just like that, Comic Geek, except it was duck-sized, which are, well, chickens can get
slightly larger.
Yeah, chickens can get pretty big, but 100 though is a lot.
Yeah, that's too many.
But chickens are mean as hell. Not Canadian goose mean, but like,
yeah,
like they can be mean.
I was picturing a Canadian goose when we were talking about the ducks earlier. So
and they're mean.
Yeah.
Geese are mean. I grew up like near this this lake that had like geese that just kind of wandered kind of around it. It was like a 5-6 minute like bike ride. And then it was like a great time to like go check out like these geese, but every time you got near them it was just like and they like all of them just like all outspread. And it was like a V formation. It was like, oh god. Like
there's like geese on campuses of university that get nicknamed like the spawn of Satan because you'll just be walking to class and the goose will like come at you.
Yeah.
They're like you're not even walking towards it and it's like I'm gonna come get you. It's like, specifically.
What are you gonna do? And you're like, oh jeez. You had to choose someone to ghostwrite your memoirs. choose? Who'd you choose? Writer question. That's an interesting one.
I really enjoyed reading Jeanette McCurdy's book that just came out last year.
Like I got that for a shot. And I'm like, I want her to read it so I can read it.
So I feel like I liked the writing style. It was easy to read. It got the story across very well. I think that was a great book. Sad story, but good book.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Ghostwrite my memoirs. I think I might. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Nikki Sixx's book. I mean, obviously it's about Motley Crue, so it's like you know, they're sitting there like, yeah, whatever. We used to, you know, shoot heroin straight into our dicks, whatever, you know, and it was just like, wow, but it felt very visceral and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might do something along those lines, or just like somebody who like remembers every detail.
Yeah.
You got to get like a sportscaster somehow, you know, that they. You need to game in '76. It's like.
You need to like find someone that knows more about you than you do. Like, what if my mom wrote my memoir? Because she remembers me when I was 3. I don't remember me when I was 3.
Big true.
So we'd get more of the story if she wrote it.
We would get like a lot of those little nuanced things.
Exactly.
That'd be kind of interesting too. Yeah. That'd be really interesting to like find. Oh. Ooh. But yes, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Shley, for giving us some interesting insight. Like, cause like I said, I come from the female-dominated field, and there are those barriers. But I'm still a dude, and I still get all the stuff there. I still get all the privilege there. And then flip it to your side, where it's a bunch of old dudes being like, a woman.
Yeah.
A woman exists
a bit of a
in my space.
At my baseball game.
Yeah, like they own the team. Ugh. I will leave it up to you. Thank you all for being here. Shley, do you have someone that you'd like us to rate?
Let me look. Let me see who's live.
Yeah, take a look. I know we follow probably a few of the same people.
Yeah. Who should we raid? Oh, there's too many people that I put on the spot. Paz is live. Do we want to raid Paz?
Not in my Christian sports ball server.
That's the @
Got it. Maybe I didn't. Mute that. No, what the heck? I did follow this. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
We got raid messages. What's our raid message?
I have a raid message, but of course, I feel like we should change it. I feel like we should change it to like Super Shley. Super Shley.
Yeah. Super Shley raid. Yeah. That's good. I like it.
All right. I'll get that and I'll type that in.
Let's make a super specific one that people that are subscribed to both of us can use.
Feel free to use my raid emotes, Shley's raid emotes, anybody's raid emotes. All I ask is that you use our Super Shley message here. Exactly. Feel free to use anybody's raid emotes. I generally like them all.
They're perfect.
You're so feel free to definitely check it out again. Check out Shley on all the things. Talking all of them.
Every single one.
Super Shley 2 underscores. But if we do one at the beginning at the end, it just gets italicized or whatever. So
yeah. We gotta think smart.
What it's about. Use it up here. All right, let's do raid channel. Playing a game called Duskers. We don't need
I've
to go
never
back.
heard of it before.
We don't need to go back to the scene.
we lived through that. We don't need to relive it.
I still listen to a good chunk of that music and stuff, but man, it was it's a. I also didn't have long hair then.
Really? You've just.
Yeah, I had short little Jufro action.
I had like short like bangs that were covering my eyes.
Hell yeah, you had short bangs?
Oh yeah, and like bleach blonde with bright blue bangs. It was great.
Bleach, like full on bleach?
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Root to tip bleach. Wow. But only blue bangs.
Yeah. My hairdresser hated me.
Like I could leave it just on, and if you get burned, you get burned. Sorry.
Oh. Well, thank you, everyone.
In your scene kid era,
I would fight anyone in my scene kid era.
Big facts. I think I would too.
Thank you, everyone that came from my channel to come watch this. I appreciate all of you, and hi to the new friends. It's nice to meet you all. And thank you, Travis.
Yes, of course. I know.
Travioli.
I know we talked about that a long time ago. And scheduling, but it's nice to meet you too.
Like before Christmas, so.
I know. Well, I didn't mean to take all of February off. It just happened.
It's fine. We made it work. Got it.
We eventually got there. For those who are new to me, I will be back tomorrow, playing some more Scrim, and let's do it. Let's hit this raid button right here.
Woo!
Yeah. Wow. Blue bangs.
It was bad. It was
still with glasses or no glasses?
Oh, I've had glasses forever. But they were like 2009 really thin glasses. They were not cool big frame glasses. They were thick dark plastic.
Because I was like, oh, did she like that? Feels like a colored contact moment.
Oh geez, I haven't been allowed to do colored contacts because my family works in the eye world.
Right, I knew that.
And colored contacts are not great for your eyes. So I've never been allowed to have those.
You're shoving colored plastic into your eyes. Of course it's not good for them. But I look cool.
I know. And like the heart-shaped sunglasses and stuff, I couldn't get those because they weren't real brands.
They were like a real frame and
yeah.
Fine.
I have to protect my eyes, I guess.
I guess they're already broken. They already don't work. All right, everybody. Thank you again so much. Thank you, Shley.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.